carried by the sound. Every drum, every single beat, they were born from your body, and I'm carried by the sound. Oh, love will never break the shape we take. Oh, baby, let all them voices slip away. Don't look back, I wanna break free. If you never see I'm coming, you never have to hide. Take my hand, take my everything. If we only got a moment, give it to me now. Oh, love will never break the shape we take. Oh, baby, let all them voices slip away. Love will never break the shape we take. Oh, no, love will never break the shape we take. Oh, no, love will never break the shape we take. Oh, baby, let all them voices slip away.
It can be scary to craft a character some might deem truly unlikable, especially if that character falls into an underrepresented demographic. But the boldness within Aaron Schimberg's latest film, a tragic comedy centered around a complete jerk of a man cured of his facial deformity, is to toss someone in such a situation into a borderline Hitchcockian comedy. Sebastian Stan defies expectations, throwing himself into a surreal performance that constantly upends itself, with Adam Pearson lighting up the screen with undeniable charm at every moment. It can be a film difficult to watch for its sheer absurdity and surrealism, but at no point does Schimberg ever buckle. It's an out-and-out comedy centered around someone fully deserving to be the butt of the joke, to delightfully schadenfreudic results. As it slowly unfolds and dips its toes into different genres, thriller, romance, farce, it becomes clear that Schimberg is working to craft as complex of a portrait as possible for someone who simply wishes he was a different man.
Who's that?
I don't know.
Why is he waving at you?
I have no idea.
As both a second part in the saga as grand as this, and as a culmination of his entire career, Denis Villeneuve's second part in his Dune saga is even more texturally rich and thrilling than the first. Free from the opening setup, Villeneuve runs wild within this landscape, telling a completely unsubtle tale of fundamentalism and imperialism. He never flinches from these aspects, using the film's numerous technical merits and visual beauty to accentuate and prop up these themes rather than hide from them. The grandiose scope is absolutely scintillating, making any viewer want to simply get lost gazing at the stupendous-looking visual treats and landscapes. It's mature without becoming overbearing, and represents the absolute best in modern science fiction filmmaking. Regardless of if there is another chapter, Villeneuve has officially cemented his place in science fiction history, with a film encompassing all of the genre's biggest strengths. Embracing the insanity of the tale without letting it overshadow the complexity and real-world allegories, it's a monumental and gorgeous achievement, this Dune.
Lead them to paradise.
Cari fratelli in Cristo.
Me with the floor show, kicking with your torso, boys getting high and the girls.
A gimmick can kill a film. It can also bring it to life. Given the well-trodden genre that is the musician biopic, approaching a new film with a gimmick is a good idea, and Michael Gracey's take on the life of Robbie Williams via a CGI ape is something that should not work. And yet the hat trick of it is that it does, and does phenomenally well. The blending of the farcical and fantastical with a real-life biopic story helps offset the pitfalls from either approach, and it adds a snark to the film that helps liven everything up. The musical sequences are fantastic and fantastical, and even the smaller, quiet moments have a larger sense of pathos because of the monkey in the room. It knocks the viewer back and disarms them, setting up a film that ends with a big, literal F-U, paired with a full-toothed grin. That not only feels completely in step with everything else that's been on display, but it also seems like the most naturally way to end a film exactly like this.
She doesn't give a twig when anyone thinks.
Of course she does. She just pretends not to.
A deceptively simple family drama anchored by its two central performances, Jesse Eisenberg stars, writes, and directs a tale of Jewish and familial tragicomedy with a real pain. Kieran Culkin absolutely runs away with the film, with a performance and character that takes the title and runs with it. Their bond is the lifeblood of the movie and never feels over or underplayed. The subtly familial details and love shine through every single interaction between these two. As a showcase of differing levels of grief, it works wonders. As a miniature trip through the gorgeous Polish countryside, it's stunning. And as an expose on how exactly we deal with varying kinds of seen and unseen grief, it's remarkably powerful in how it doesn't seek to answer its own big central question. The non-answer is all the answer it needs. Even without the grief, Eisenberg's script allows him and Culkin to run wild, playing back and forth in a space of familial and brotherly bonding, helping each other heal from a deep-seated, real pain.
Just seems like maybe there's like a time and a place to grieve, and maybe it's not.
Yo, Dave, we're on a fucking Holocaust tour. If now is not the time and place to grieve, to open up, I don't know what to tell you, man.
A completely wordless animal experience, Flow is a film that seems impossible to make. Will audiences care for a dialogueless animated adventure starring just animals? Well, not only is the answer a resounding yes, but it's a perfect example of the simplistic power of the medium. A gorgeous landscape serves as a backdrop for this tale, and each animal is brought to life with detail and a lively expressiveness. Somehow, without any words, each develops a personality all their own, and makes it easy to relate to each one. As its co-writer, director, producer, editor, and composer, Gint Zilbaladis peppers the tale with fantastical imagery, it's staged with a deft hand and beautiful music, almost crafting a feature-length music video or silent opera effect. The film could almost lull you to sleep with its beauty and effortless simplicity. A crowning, almost entirely solo-made achievement, it's virtually impossible not to get caught up in the flow. If Luca Guadagnino is going to make a sports movie, you better believe it won't really be about the sports. By using tennis as a backdrop against a decades-long love triangle, he and his trio of actors have delivered a sexy, twisty, aggressively romantic kind of sports drama. It's an exhilarating movie in its technical craft, but Zendaya, Mike Fast, and Josh O'Connor run away with the entire film. Their performances, coupled with the script, are absolutely fiery, and it's a film that takes glee in pitting them against each other. Each individual would be compelling enough in their own film, but toss the three of them together and you have a concoction of broad audience appeal with Guadagnino's altruistic techniques. The last tennis match alone is worth the price of admission, and it's easy to sit back and watch as this triangle pits themselves against each other. These athletes, these hopeless romantics, these challengers.
He's not in love with you.
What makes you think I want someone to be in love with me?
But you light up a room and then you like shit on everything inside of it.
Everybody wants to win, Tony, and that's the truth of it.
But that won't read well.
Well, that's the truth of it.
It would be so easy for an actor to play a role like this and immediately turn it into a joke, a stereotype, a borderline Saturday Night Live impersonation. But what makes Sebastian Stan's performance as a young Donald Trump so admirable is that he doesn't do any of that. He never takes the easy way out, instead letting this role be a slowly shifting one. As the film goes on, not only does the actor seem to fade away, but more and more of Trump's trademark mannerisms begin to pop up. It's almost a puzzle of a role, letting the viewer watch and wonder where he picked up that technique or who he got that mannerism from. There are numerous layers to the performance, and it's surprising just how well it all works. There is makeup, prosthetics, a wig, and more to craft a physical appearance for Stan, but underneath it all, he shines and makes this role something spectacular, something unique, and something wholly unexpected.
Come on, walk me over there.
Jane Schonbrun's second film is one that seeks to draw parallels between our modern television obsessions and a deeply wrought dissatisfaction with real life and identity. I Saw the TV Glow is an inarguably existential film, working to explore an inherent dread and queerness, while also paying tribute to a very specific kind of 90s aesthetic. Its two lead performances are fantastic, taking wildly differing approaches to the material and how these two main characters would deal with such revelations. It's a Lynchian kind of horror, and by entrenching the entire film in this unique feeling, it shines. This is the sort of film where every single aspect of the filmmaking process is working together to evoke the same tone. There's a deeply conflicted emotional subtext working underneath a perfect microcosm of 90s vaporwave feelings. It's the sort of film that uses its own restrictions, like a lower visual effects budget, to craft more purposeful and haunting moments that work because of the constraints. This is a film that is destined to be rewatched, dissected, obsessed over, and loved for years by those who refuse to turn off the set and let the TV glow.
I think that I like TV shows.
A borderline alienating piece of body horror social satire, Coralie Farjat's The Substance invites viewers to take a hit of her style and never look back. There's a deep-seated anger at the center of this tale that never begets the fun and flair on display. Demi Moore is the best she's ever been, turning this role into a transformative take on an unfortunate real-life trend. Margaret Qualley continues to pick fascinatingly unique roles, and the pair have a fantastic kind of chemistry and character work together. Mix in plenty of grotesque practical effects, tilted whimsy in the production design, and a cyclical, droning musical score, and you have a midnight movie horror blast that works as both a midnight movie, a social satire, and also just an extremely sick showcase of two fantastic actresses' work. Be careful lest you become addicted to the substance.
Control yourself! I really wanted to make a big scream, a big kick, in the system.
Annie, I'm Vanya's wife.
When your film is named after its central character, then it stands to reason that your actress playing that role had better excel. Mikey Madison not only excels as the titular Anora, but she absolutely runs away with the film. She's truly phenomenal, working with Sean Baker's typical ideals to humanize and deepen Anora as a character and person without coddling her. She's a firecracker without getting everything handed to her, and she's not even the best type of person. But Madison embraces those flaws and uses them to build out a performance that's hypnotic to watch. Anora is easy to fall in love with and care about, and Madison's excellent characterization and full-bodied whirlwind of a performance makes both her and Anora a star. Somehow, in the age of $200 million blockbusters and interconnected multiverses, one of the most radical films of the year is one that cost $150,000. A $150,000 grand, slapstick, silent movie about beavers. Mike Cheslick's feature debut is full of ingenious bits of visual humor that fly at you so fast you wouldn't even notice if a gag didn't work. Which isn't an issue, as each bit feels as though it was chemically concocted to elicit the biggest laugh-to-minute ratio. It makes a star out of its lead, the gruff and silent Wile E. Coyote type Ryland Bricks and Cole Twos, and turns mascot animal costumes into new symbols of modern-day comedic genius. Everything on paper here should not work, and yet each bit of it does. There's a reverence for the slapstick silent films of Chaplin and Laurel and Hardy here, but even if the technical merits weren't so impressive, the sheer number of gags would be. It's truly insane how many jokes Cheslick manages to get out of hundreds of beavers.
But safe only gets you so far. What if you look your fears right in the eye?
As an adaptation of a beloved children's book series, The Wild Robot is a smashing success. But the film also works as far more than just that. After 30 years as an animation studio, DreamWorks has their magnum opus. Chris Sanders' film combines each individual aspect of the studio's previous works expertly here, but pushes beyond them as well. It's a family film unafraid to confront the most complicated aspects of life, and it does so with a gorgeous art style that makes each moment a beauty to simply look at. A perfect example of the level it's working on is how its cast, despite being packed with recognizable names, never feels like the cheap celebrity talent the studio has seen in the past. Lupita Nyong'o in particular delivers a vocal performance that is one of the finest performances she's ever given. It's not often you see a work that feels like a true culmination of everything a studio has done before, but somehow this is just that. It's no hyperbole to say that this might just be the best film DreamWorks has ever made, and there's an ultra-gorgeous, deeply emotional heart beating at the center of this wild robot.
What task could possibly overwhelm the Alpha 113? The Alpha 113 processor represents the fusion of all human knowledge with the most powerful reasoning device ever developed by humankind.
I have a kid.
Okay.
Sean Baker's latest film feels like the kind of movie he's been building to his entire career. A screwball comedy romantic crime drama that feels like if you threw Pretty Women in a blender with a Scorsese film and made the resulting work very angry. Anora is as boisterous as its title character and invites you to grab tight hold of it and never let go. Thanks to an entirely game cast led by Mikey Madison's career-defining performance, it's a film that borders on the absurd, but never lets that distract from humanizing and destigmatizing its world and characters. This is the kind of film that you stare at, wide-eyed, as you rocket along a highway of bad decisions and regrettable interactions. Baker knows that in order to tear away the stigma from the kinds of people he wants to make films about, he has to show the ugly and the pretty. Anora works so well because, as it goes on, you care for and wish its central character well, but you never ever pity her. A showcase for the downtrodden without ever turning into a shame parade, it's a roller coaster of a film, chock full of moments you can't look away from, characters you won't soon forget, and an anti-heroine who makes you want to scream her name. You will never forget a girl like Anora.